Legislation making its way through the General Assembly could make it easier for juvenile offenders to end up serving time in adult prisons. Adam Pinsker spoke with some advocates trying to change the legislation. Here's his report.
17-year-old Jeremy Perez of Indianapolis admits he isn't perfect.
I've been caught up in the system a couple times, but besides that, really I'm a hard-working, hands-on person.
Perez is one of many teens referred by the court system to Voices, a community outreach organization in Indianapolis. The day reporting program allows students to complete their schoolwork, earn a GED, and build life skills.
Since we have started day reporting, we've served almost 400 students, and 2/3 of them had a gun charge.
Voices Director Brandon Randall is worried about House Bill 1369, which repeals a law requiring people to obtain a permit in order to carry a handgun in Indiana. It would create a new crime for minors caught carrying a gun.
Their offense would be called unlawful possession, and for the most part, it's a Class A misdemeanor to begin with, but there are some factors which raise it to a level 5 felony.
Joel Wenicky with the Indiana Public Defender Council says exceptions for possessing a handgun at home or at a firing range aren't carved out in the new bill. That can mean jail time for minors caught carrying a handgun.
Some of these children are living in the exact same neighborhoods, are dealing with very concerning circumstances, and they feel like they're not being protected by the adults in their neighborhood, and sometimes will resort to accessing firearms in order to protect themselves.
Weineke is also worried about another bill the legislature is debating that will require certain crimes juveniles are charged with be automatically tried in adult court. One provision extends the statute of limitations on child molestation. A child who may have committed the crime at the age of 14 could be charged in adult court after he or she turns 18.
Well, a 14-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girlfriend, and that's the dividing line for child molest, is the age between 13 and 14. So that 14-year-old boy and the 13-year-old girlfriend engage in conduct that would be fondling.
Weineke understands lawmakers are trying to look out for the best interests of children, but says the proposed legislation casts a wide net that could pose unintentional consequences.
But the reality is, I don't think it's making this world safer by using this direct file concept and pushing these kids directly into adult court without taking a look at the individual circumstance of each case.
Weineke and Randall agree that allowing more juvenile crimes to be directly filed into adult court will hurt black and brown youth more than their white counterparts. In late 2019, the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute surveyed 139 juveniles under adult court supervision. 112 of them were direct file cases and 27 were waived, meaning a juvenile court passed the case along to an adult court. Black juveniles comprised 66% of direct file cases compared to 29% of white defendants. Black juveniles also made up 70% of the waivers to adult court compared to 19% of white defendants.
The criminal justice system and even other systems like education, these systems were built to benefit white people. They were not created to benefit people of color.
Randall worries if the legislature passes laws that allow more juvenile crimes to be tried in adult court, it would prevent kids like Perez from completing the Voices diversion program.
If laws like this were to have been passed, he wouldn't have been with us. He wouldn't have gotten his GED. He wouldn't have been able to be, successful in a variety of ways.
Perez says he's pursuing a career in the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning industry while speaking to kids younger than him about his experiences in the system.
Tell them, you don't want to be in a position, a messed up position with the system or anything. You still got a lot of growing to do.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Adam Pinsker.